Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you very much indeed for inviting me to join this important seminar on the importance of InfraTech to infrastructure for the climate transition. I'm delighted to join our friends and close partners at the Global Infrastructure Hub and to work together on this very important agenda item. I'm sorry that I can't be in the meeting in person. I'm currently in the UK. I've been attending the COP26 summit in Glasgow, which achieved some very important outcomes in this space. And the Glasgow Pact on Climate that resulted is, hugely important progress towards achieving the objectives of the Paris Agreement. Of course, as representing AIIB and representing the bank's members, which include some of the countries in the world that are most vulnerable to climate change. Countries such as Bangladesh, India, Nepal have been on the front line of climate change and are among those who need to become much better equipped to deal with the consequences of climate change. And multilateral development banks like the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank are already playing a crucial role, and we need to rapidly scale up our efforts to support the transition for mitigation and adaptation to climate change, both areas very important. In AIIB's case, we've committed that by 2025, at least 50% of our lending will be for climate finance. That means that over the course of this decade, we expect to commit at least $50 billion to climate finance. And along with all of our other MDB peers, we've also committed to aligning all of our projects with the goals of the Paris Agreement. And so all of our new investment will be fully Paris aligned by mid-2023. And that means that projects which are either climate related or not climate related all have to be aligned with the Paris Agreement. But apart from financing, which is critical, it's also essential that we support solutions such as encouraging the use of technology and infrastructure that can improve efficiency, productivity, and sustainability. And so financing InfraTech for the climate transition is one of the most important challenges and agendas for us all, because the technologies that can enable climate solutions are going to be critical, and spreading those technologies is going to be critical for many developing countries to achieve the ambitious goals that have been set out. Technology has become more and more relevant to infrastructure over the past decades. And infrastructure so far is one of the sectors perhaps lagging behind in adoption of new technologies. But more recently, this has changed. According to a survey conducted by Infrastructure Investor, technology is now the second most important mega trend as rated by investors. G20 has focused on the infrastructure agenda and many InfraTech agenda, and many governments have started planning and adopting smart infrastructure initiatives. In the context of climate change, applying the right technologies to infrastructure projects will deliver significant benefits for sustainability and also for climate resilience. For example, using digital twins and BIM technologies can help design and construction process to be more efficient, reducing construction time and reducing waste of building materials. Using AI and big data analytics can support smart energy management and improve energy efficiency. And so developing and applying InfraTech is going to be an important topic for all infrastructure stakeholders in the coming years. So this is an agenda that AIIB has embraced from the very beginning. We were set up in 2016 with the aim to support sustainable economic development in Asia and beyond by investing in infrastructure and other productive sectors. Our focus is on infrastructure for tomorrow. What kind of infrastructure will our members need for the next few decades of their development? And in particular, in that context, we highlight the importance of supporting technology and digital infrastructure, which will be the key driver of sustainable growth in the decades to come. Technology-enabled infrastructure, or the uses of InfraTech, is one of the 4 thematic priorities that define our corporate strategy and vision to 2030. So alongside climate, connectivity, and private capital mobilization, technology and digital infrastructure is one of the 4 pillars of what we call infrastructure for tomorrow. On the one hand, we invest in digital infrastructure to bridge the digital divide and provide a foundation for technologies. We invest in connectivity and data infrastructure in emerging countries. For example, we've supported broadband investment in Oman, satellite infrastructure to bring high quality internet connections to Indonesia and especially to outlying islands, 5G rollout and data sector funds. So that's the digital infrastructure to bridge the digital divide, but also we see the importance of investing directly into technologies for infrastructure. We invest in InfraTech, both development and application of technologies in infrastructure centers. For example, we invested in the Lightsmith Climate Resilience Technology Fund, which supports the use of data analytics for better climate risk controls. We invested in Legend Capital to support technology adoption in social infrastructures, healthcare. We also invest in a leading AI fund that aims to infuse AI applications into traditional industries. And we invest in projects with significant technology components. For example, we just approved the financing of a green, smart transportation project. The project will include the electrification of public buses and implementation of digital transportation management systems. And the project therefore will contribute significantly to decarbonization by digital means, something that we will see, I think, in many more projects in the years to come. Through our InfraTech platform, we've supported clients to figure out the viability, readiness, and benefits of technology applications. For example, we supported Uzbekistan in exploring options to digitally transform the water sector. And we believe that with more experience and emerging technologies such as 5G, technology can play a more prominent role beyond the consumer sectors and into more sophisticated ecosystems such as industrial infrastructure and cities. Of course, signs of progress in this area had started before COVID, but COVID has accelerated and broadened the adoption. It's forced us to overcome many barriers to transformation, especially in traditional sectors that have lagged behind. And so InfraTech will become more mainstream in the next 10 years. Let's not forget that long ago, we still called solar and wind clean tech. Today, they're mainstreamed as core infrastructure. And I suspect that that's what we will see with InfraTech over the years to come. Given the benefits and the opportunities ahead of us, technology and digital collaborations have become ever more important. All the changes I've mentioned cannot happen with individual effort alone. We have to collaborate. Unlike the more fast-moving sectors in which the internet is already disruptive, cities, infrastructure, industry are more sophisticated ecosystems. There are more legacies, frictions, and challenges, complex supply chains, asset-heavy models, restrictive procurement, risk-averse cultures, and less frequent interactions with the tech sector are the tip of the iceberg in terms of some of the challenges that we have to address. And so to deal with that, our collaboration must be systematic, it must be cross-sectoral, there must be a conducive ecosystem where people talk and work together across sectors. In infrastructure, for example, many technology solutions already exist, but people making decisions are not always aware of those technologies. Maybe one country is aware and others are not. And so one of the roles for organizations like ours is to help to broaden awareness, raise the knowledge levels, and try and help to ensure that when projects are being developed, we're aware of all the best technology that can help to make those projects as efficient and as clean and as green as possible. So new infrastructure is not just about AI and data centers, for example. It also means how do we infuse technologies into our traditional infrastructure and other sectors to renew them. Collaboration should be a common goal for all of us. We cannot afford to have platforms that exclude each other because they undermine consumers' benefits. We cannot afford, for example, to have different protocols for autonomous driving because that would undermine road safety. If we don't collaborate widely and quickly, we will end up creating siloed approaches, incompatible rules, inconsistent data libraries, low interoperability, stifling both partnerships and also healthy competition. And so it's for that reason, the importance of technology collaboration that I'm really delighted and strongly support the Global Infrastructure Hub in organizing this webinar, which will promote collaboration, promote dialogue. AIIB is committed to help create a better, more sustainable and more resilient future for us all by financing infrastructure for tomorrow, which is technology enabled. So I hope to meet many of you here in future, either virtually in our headquarters in Beijing when travel restrictions allow, or indeed at other international fora and meetings. My colleagues will be joining the session later to discuss InfraTech in more detail. We want to partner, discuss, and build infrastructure for tomorrow by harnessing the value that technology can offer by working together with all of us. Thank you very much indeed for listening, and I wish this event a great success. Thank you.